So again, we're going to look at these two rectangular prisms and the cubic prisms. We're going to use these formulas to find the volume of them. Then we're going to also look at triangular prisms. We're also going to apply these ones. The last one we're going to do today is also the volume for a cylinder. Okay, it's going to be very, very simple. So do me a favor, we're just going to jump into problems because you just got to be able to identify them. So copy down this problem. You're only going to copy down a couple of them. After that, you don't need to. But just to kind of get the idea of this going, we're going to. We got to find the volume of a rectangular prism. And the hardest part about these is drawing it. No, it's being able to identify the types. Majority of the time, I will give you guys the handouts that will have you do these. So it's easy. These ones are easy. Doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, but we're going to try to identify these types. Give you guys about 30 seconds to draw that. We're going to probably do about 5 or 6 drawings, and then we're done. Do a cylinder, 3 or 4 drawings, and we're done. So I want to give you guys at least 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes of homework time. So hopefully we are done by 15 minutes, 20, 18 minutes, 19 minutes, 18 minutes. It's doable. Very doable. Yes. No, not yet. In a little bit. We'll have problems to do for yourselves. Looking at this, want to be able to see this? We are going to apply the volume. This is a rectangular prism. The rectangular prism is also the same thing as a cubic prism. The only difference with cubic prisms is they all have the same side, so it's really easy. In this case, the volume for it will be what? Length times width times height. I know my cursive, amazing. What you want to be able to see with these is you want to be able to identify at least the base of this figure. And what I would assume is you always want to look at the ones that have the 90-degree angles to them, so you can identify at least one of the figures that you're going to solve for. Our volume for this is going to come from the sides of this triangle, or rectangle, sorry. So we're going to get 9 times 7, and whichever one you make length or width, it doesn't matter. And then the height of our figure is going to come from the pillars that make up the other, right, the separated rectangle. Okay. So we're going to use that, multiply by 4. So we're just going to take the length, width, and height, multiply them all out. Someone do it for me. 252. Is that good enough? No. We need the unit of measurements. Yards, cube. Cubed.
So for rectangular, it always be cubed?
Always be cubed. Any volume will be cubed. Surface area is squared. Distance or length will be single, will be nothing, will be, exponent of 1. Okay. So let's try another problem. We're going to try these 2. Here we go. One down below. You guys go copy that on that bottom one. I know. Here's how I would do it. I'll make it a little triangle up on, or a little square on top. Didn't you guys learn how to draw these back in elementary school? Look at that. Woo! Yeah, I know. Because I'm amazing. It's good enough. For this one, what type of figure do I have? Cubic prism. In a cubic prism, the volume will be S to the 3rd power. What does the S mean? A side. What is one of our sides? 10. Volume will be 10 cubed. Volume will equal 1,000 Kilometers. 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 Comprendos?
Yes.
Easy or hard? Blowing your mind? Usually I'll give you the shapes for you not to draw. So, they're just notes. Neat. Here we go. Let's copy down these two. So let's do these ones. I'll give you them both at the same time. I know, oh my gosh. The more practice, the better. Look at, here's what I'll do. I'll draw the top figure up here first. And then I'll draw lines down below that kind of match those. And then I would draw the other figure. Look at how fancy. That's a horrible picture.
Yeah, redo that, please.
Redo that? Dang, Abraham. So I would do this first. Do that. I'm using my straight lines now. Then I'll make the lines that go down to the other figure. And then you want to be able to connect them. Come on, that's spot on. I have I can make like a billion lines like that. I'm cheating. Cheating. Oh,
What the heck?
it's jokes. Now, what type of figure do I have on this one?
Triangular.
Triangular. Triangular prism. Now, with this one, our volume is going to be equal to 1/2 AB times H. Now, with these ones might be a little bit more trickier. Not by much, but you got to be able to see it. What I would tell you again is look for the ones that has the 90 degrees. So the figure that's down below here would represent my base of my triangle. We're going to find the area of the triangle times it by the height, and our height happens to be our figure right here, so the length of 12. So when we plug this in, we're going to get our volume. I can write it out. Volume will be equal to 1/2. What is the length of the bottom portion of the base? 12. The height of this little triangle is going to be 6.3. And the height of it is going to be the depth of the figure. Will be the outside. The pillars that make up the figure itself. To trick you. What is 11 to us right now? It's considered the hypotenuse, and it really is not going to help us out. If we had a right angle here, it would. Then we would use this side and this side, but we don't have that. It just represents variables. The length of the height is usually what A is going to be. And the bottom of this B will represent the base. Usually what it represents. The H on the outside, because we don't use double H, that doesn't make sense to us. H you can think of as the depth of it, or how big it is, or how, large it is. No. It's gonna... And just being able to identify. The more you identify, the better it becomes. Now, plugging these in, did someone do them for me? Half of 12 is 6 times 6.3 times 12. And I'll do it all for you. Because you guys are lazy. You guys want to make Mr. Aguilar do it all? No? Does it make sense? Yeah. Easy? Or you're not lazy, you're okay with being lazy? So my parents used to say, you're lazy. I know. Can't get mad at me, I have straight A's. Okay. Told you to take out the trash. Took it out last night. You're good. Story of my life. Bottom one would be a what? Triangular Prism. Yeah, it's a hardcore abbreviation. Sideways, it's okay. We're going to look at the ones that has this backside with the 90 degrees. This is kind of our nice one here. I prefer you do. Prefer you do. That means we can label our backside being 8 centimeters and the bottom being 6. So we're going to find the area of that by doing our volume is equal to 1/2 A and B, which is 6 and 8, times the depth of it or the height of it. The height of it that extends from this is going to be 11. Are we good? What'd you guys get? 28. How'd you get 28? 6 times 8 times 11. Half of that. I got 2. Did I do that right? Centimeters. You good? You're good? Sorry, are you okay? You're good? It is. I'll do no shave November. Wife is not going to be too excited about our holiday pictures, but good offer for her. So she can't be mad at me. Do me a favor. You do not need to draw these ones, but try these ones out. Identify the type. Tell me the volume. Identify the type. I'm going to write down the equations for them so you guys can see them, but try these out. Give you a couple minutes. Yes, it is. It's a rough life, man. You have to grow up really fast. I really didn't find myself until I was about 24. 22. You find yourself. What type of figure do I have for number 1? Cubic prism. For our cubic prism, it's going to be the volume is going to be side cubed. That means we're going to have 5 cubed is going to be what? Am I done? Okay, 125 kilometers squared. Kilometers. The next one we're going to look at is what? What do I have? Rectangular prism. The volume is going to be what? Times height. Again, we're going to identify at least one of the base ones. So I'm going to look at the one down below here. I always want to look at the 90-degree angles to these. The height of them are going to be the depth of which it forms for these. So the volume is going to be length times width. What is my length times width? 11 times what? 11 times 4 times my height, which is 5. Our volume for this one is going to be what? No. 220 kms cubed. The one down below, try number 3. Again, I'm going to look at my triangle here. I'm looking at the right angle to this one because I need to find the area of that triangle times the depth of this. So my volume for, let's write this out, sorry. Triangle prism, and Al, you're right, it's going to be, volume is equal to 1/2 AB times H. So Sorry, I'm trying to catch up to you. You said it was going to be 15 times 9 times 12. What do we get with this one? The volume will be what? 9 times 12 times 15? Is that what you got? Boom. Good. Our last one is what type again? Triangular prism again. And with this one, we're going to look at the triangle that is formed on the 90, so it's on the bottom side of it. And then the height stems off from each one of these. Height is 3, exactly. AB times H. What is my value for this? 1/3. What's my A? 8. My B is going to be 6. My H will be 3. Uh-oh, I kind of made, should have been 2, sorry. I don't know why I wrote it that way. Didn't even think about it. What'd you guys get? You got 72? 72? Easy or hard? Easy. Okay, here we go. Let's try to finish this up. The next one we're going to do, don't copy that. Don't copy that. Copy that. We're going to finish this up. We talked about volumes of prisms. It is a cube. We're good? Cube. Rectangular cube, rectangular prism. Triangular prism. And the last one we're going to do today is a cylinder. This is your can of soda, your Monster Energy drink, your can of tomatoes. Hopefully. Deals with diameter. Okay. We're going to try to finish this up. We have only one thing, and we're going to do 2 examples, and we're done. 2 examples. Today, you do not have any cylinders today. I'm going to give you guys that problem tomorrow. And then we're going to do pyramids tomorrow, both rectangular and square pyramids. I know, it's fancy, I know. I know. Don't be too excited, I know. Okay, here we go. So copy down that. In a right cylinder, meaning it looks like a can, the formula of the volume of a cylinder, the area of the circular base times the height. This one is going to be referencing pi r squared, which is the area of a circle, times the height, which is the depth of the circle. We also can use oblique cylinders, which is like the Leaning Tower of Pizza in a way. Pizza? So I'm thinking of pizza. And it's done the same way. As long as we have the height and the radius, we're going to be able to plug those in. Okay. The oblique cylinder is a cylinder whose axis is not perpendicular to the base, but the volume will be the same. So we're going to do 2 examples of these. We're going to come back and do them tomorrow for our do now. And then that's it. Not for this one today. You just have 2 of them. So I figured I'd give you 2. You're going to have triangular prisms, rectangular prisms for today. Tomorrow you're going to have cylinders and pyramids tomorrow. And then Wednesday I think we can review because now we're caught up. And then Thursday we're doing the C4 career day. And then after this Thursday. Yeah. I'll let you guys know. I'll keep it posted and give you guys insight. They're kind of still working up the kinks with all of it, so we'll get that all squared away. Good? What color is this? See, people are saying it's green. It's not green, it's yellow.
It looks green because of that accent of the bottle.
The bottle's gray.
Yeah, it makes it darker.
Yeah, wouldn't it be gray or yellow? A gray or yellow, not green.
It's like darker yellow.
It's coloring green.
For real, that do look green. Right now it looks like.
See?
Okay, now it looks like. Is it lemonade?
You guys are tripping, man. Okay, here we go. Copy down. Oh, sorry, we need two things as well. Just to kind of discuss this as well. I want to let you guys know several things. We also can look at diameter. Diameter in the context of these problems is going to be equal to what? Twice the radius. Okay. It is also D is equal to 2R, so I can give you a diameter. It's half the radius, or the radius is half the diameter. And then we also want to put in context something else, where it doesn't matter if you use the pound key, but we're going to look at pi. What is the approximation of pi? 3.14. This is the number you need. I know some teachers have done it with 3 of them, 3.145, but we're just going to do 3.14. And we're going to both put it in radians, which is leaving it in pi, and we're also going to give approximation, which is finding the actual value. So we're going to do both of them just so you guys can see them. Not much harder. It's an extra step, pretty much in your calculator. I won't have you do a long multiplication where you have to stack them and do them, so don't worry about it. Okay. Cool? But we do need those two for these, just in case. And we're going to see that on our first go. Here we go. Let's copy these two down. Let's do these last two, and we'll finish up.
I think it's a picture for Oblique Cylinder.
You're welcome. Gosh, now I'm getting cold again. See if you do. Oh, it's okay. Okay, now for this one, let's kind of finish these two up so I can give you guys your work. If we're looking at this type of problem, one thing that we need to be able to find out is what? A radius. If our diameter is 14, then what is a radius then? 7. We can split these into 2. If you want to do it algebraically, diameter is equal to twice the radius. So we're going to type in 14 for our diameter, 2r. We're going to take this and divide it out by 2. 7 is equal to r, so our radius is 7. The volume for this is equal to pi r squared times h. And all we're really going to do is we're going to plug in these values. So it's going to be the volume is equal to pi times our radius. Our radius happens to be 7. The height of it is going to be 8. So we want to be able to put these in the context of these problems. Now this is where you're going to look at these types of problems. If we do this all the way and we do it one step without multiplying out this gives me 392 pi meters cubed. What did I do basically? I did a multiply by pi. If you leave it like this, this is perfectly acceptable. This is acceptable if you leave it like this. This is what's called leaving it in radians. Radians means radiuses, and radians deal with circles and diameters and radiuses. So we can leave it as that, okay? If we wanted the approximation, what would we have to do to finish that up? 3.14 times it by 3.14. You can also give me a better approximation if you actually use pi. But if we do this, we're going to get 1230.88 meters cubed. And I'm probably going to ask you guys for both of these so you guys can think about doing them. It's only an extra step. All we're doing is multiplying everything out. Easy or hard? That's all we want to be able to do. Okay? So we have this last one. Let's do this last problem. We have about 8 minutes left, so let's go ahead and finish it. Cylinder on the bottom, copy down that one. We have an oblique cylinder, and this is done no different than any other cylinder. Okay? This is not done any different, and we can solve for this. It's the same process, though. We have the height and we have the radius, right? That's the only two you need. It's not straight. I don't know. Too extra, Mr. Hernandez. People have their earphones in. Hope was playing video games. Trying to hide it behind his book bag. I'm not even paying. Hopefully, I don't care. I don't care. You guys are fine. Mr. Johnson over here looks sleepy. Allie's showing up late.
I wasn't late, I swear.
Okay, our volume for this last one will be, what is it, pi r squared times h. God, that looks like a V, doesn't it? That's horrible, man. Pi r squared times h. Now, in this case, all we really need is we have our radius, which is 2. We have the height of it, which is 5. So all we're going to do is plug it in. Volume is equal to pi times 2 squared times 5. Some of these you're going to be able to do in your head. Okay, 2 squared is 4 times 5. So this will be 20 pi inches cubed, if you want to leave it like that. To give the approximation, what do we just have to do? Yep, multiply by 3.14 times 20. So give me what?
So either answer is acceptable.
Either answer is acceptable. For the time being, I'm going to ask you guys for both of them. Okay, cute. And that's it. Easy today? Good. Good, good, good. Okay, homework time?